Hello, I am back with another video. Today we're going to be talking about the books that I really want to read, really have to get through before I give birth to my baby. As I've mentioned in previous videos, I am pregnant. So with that, I assume, this is my first time, but I assume I will not have time to read as much anymore once they're born. So I got a lot of books on my TBR that I need to read. This is like my immediate TBR, instant TBR, emergency TBR. But first, I need to talk about something that I have been obsessed with lately, and that is Analisa. If you are a longtime follower, you know I love Analisa. They also love me because they keep spoiling me with pieces of jewelry and discount codes for you guys, so it's a win-win for everybody. But they also updated their packaging and have this cutest little packaging now. I swear the colors, the details are so cute. But Analisa, if you don't know, is a very sustainable, affordable, long-lasting jewelry company, and I have been wearing their jewelry for so long. They did send me a couple of new pieces. Thank you so much because they are gorgeous. I got these checkered diamond gold earrings, and they also sent me this gorgeous diamond ring right here. But besides that, I wear their stuff all the time. I have so many pairs of earrings. I wear this ring right here all the time. Same thing with this bracelet. You see me wear this bracelet so much, and this one as well. I really do think the majority, 90% of my jewelry comes from Analisa, and that is because their products just last so long. They're water resistant, they don't rust, their pricing starts at $39, free shipping in the US. They just have so many good qualities about the company, about the jewelry that I love, that I think everyone should check them out. I do have a personalized code, so it is in the description of this video if you want to check it out. Check out Analisa. You can get up to 25% off right now if you order. Of course, the more you order, the bigger discount you get. But try them out if you're looking for some new jewelry for the fall and things like that. Even Christmas is coming up, so you can always get something for somebody else and all that kind of stuff. But let's jump into the video. So like I said, I seriously need to start reading everything I want before I'm not gonna have time to really do so anymore. So I have compiled a lot of books that I want to read and separated them into 3 different categories. So we have books that I've read, because I haven't talked to you guys. I haven't done a wrap up in a long time. You don't know what I've been reading. So I have some books I want to share that I've read, that I'm reading, and that I want to read. So we have my read, reading, and wants. We will go ahead and start with what I'm currently reading because that is the easiest, I think. So currently I'm reading Air by Sabaa Tahir. This is the continuation sequel story to An Ember in the Ashes, that whole quartet, and it follows the children of the characters that we saw in Ember 20 years later, which is insane. It makes me sad to think about that. Like, time has passed in their world. But these characters that are in the new book are really interesting so far. I'm only like 18% in. That's about 10 chapters, and I'm pretty invested. It's just that I don't have the physical copy yet. I have been reading it on Kindle because I got an ARC. I didn't read it before it came out. It came out on October 10th, but I'm working my way through it, and it is so good. It's just taking me a little bit to keep the focus on fantasy books right now. I want to read a fantasy, like that's what my mood is right now. But like I said, my attention span is just not how it used to be right now. And so Air is kind of just there. Like, I read a chapter or two every couple of days, I would say, but I think I just need to get like really hooked into it and it'll be fine. I'll be smooth sailing, I hope. But I'm also reading Immortal Dark by Germa. I know I said that so wrong. I'm so sorry. Forgot I actually have the copy of the book. This is from the library. I've been utilizing my library so much lately, but this is what the book looks like. You've probably seen it. It's really gorgeous. And then on the side it has, or on the edges, it has a quote. So this book, I really want to buy it for my collection because I am really enjoying it. I am about 78 pages in, which is chapter 15. But this one is about a girl whose sister goes missing, and they live, I think her name is Adane. I'm not sure how to say it. Adane, is it? That's her last name. Her first name is Kaiden Adane, maybe. Kaiden sounds a lot better. Maybe it's Kaiden. And her sister June. So the two of them have lived in this world where vampires are used to be really dangerous to humans. Now there are governing forces that have basically like laws where vampires are controlled. They're not like going on rampages killing everybody. But Kaiden, her sister June goes missing, so she's trying to figure out who kidnapped her. She thinks she has a lead, which leads her to Ulay, I don't know how to say it either, the university. And she ends up having to go to this university, and she is the heir to a house, like family houses, and her family is all gone, and so she is the only heir left, and so she has to live in this house with their vampire because each house has like their own vampires, and her vampire, don't even get me started on his name. I know I'm not gonna say it right. Susanos, I think is how you say it. Susanos, I'm just gonna call him Sus. I don't know. He is so interesting so far. Like, he makes this book everything, and I am eating it up. Well, Kaiden is also very cool. Like, all these characters are really good. Like, I don't know what it is, but I'm loving this book. It is exactly what I need right now. I know I said I was in a fantasy slump, but this is different. This is just so like the environment of it, the atmosphere, it's so atmospheric. That's the word. So, highly recommend. And I'm gonna see where the story goes. That's about all I know, is that she's looking for her sister, moves into the house, she has to live with Seuss until she finds out more information about where her sister was taken. So, love it. I'm really enjoying that read. Okay, that's what I'm reading. Let's go on to what I read, and I'm just gonna sum up these books and just really tell you what I thought about them. So, first one is What Happens After Midnight. This is by K.L. Walther. This one is a young adult romance set in a boarding school. Where it's their senior year, they're gonna pull a prank, and the main character, the girl, gets included on fulfilling the senior prank with the jester, who is like the person that's in charge of ruling or controlling and pulling off the prank for the year. And it is none other than her ex-boyfriend. So she has to work with her ex-boyfriend on the senior prank and get that done. I DNF this, sadly. It's just a little bit slow. I feel like it is definitely a perfect age category for young adults, somebody in high school. It has the perfect, you know, romance vibes for that age. I think right now I'm just couldn't get invested in such minimal, low stakes plots, I think is how I would like describe that. Like, if you are, you know, my age, somebody who read YA religiously, like, and I still do love YA, of course, but just something like this, I think right now, I don't know, to me it feels more like a read when you have a lot of time on your hands and you can just sit there, and I really can't. I need to read in like spurts of 30 minutes. So it didn't really fit with my lifestyle right now, but it was really cute, and I wish I could have read it, and I might come back to it one day, but it's the library copy, so I have to return it. So I did just make the decision to DNF, but I do hope one day I could come back to it. I also read Wedding People by Allison something, and that book is really good. Okay, so basically what happens is the main character gets a divorce. So she's going through a lot. She's realized she's living half of her life. She's not really finding fulfillment in her lifestyle and everything. And she's like, I gotta change it up. So she goes to this hotel, and it's like a really expensive hotel, and it turns out that it's booked out for a wedding, and she's the only person in the entire hotel that is not there for the wedding. So she intermingles and talks with all the wedding people and runs into the bride in this crazy encounter, and just overspills about herself and why she's there and some things she wants to do. And she just goes on this journey of like discovering herself, and also like you learn about the bride, you learn about so many people in the wedding party, and you also learn about people in the main character's life. And I almost DNF'd it. I got 100 pages in, and it was like just kind of slow. Actually, no, I think I read like the first 2 chapters and it was slow. And then by 100 pages, I was sucked in. So good. Love the book. Just, I don't know. I gave it 5 stars. I can't rave about it enough, but there are trigger warnings that I want to mention. The main one is the main character had difficulty getting pregnant with her husband, and also the mention of suicide attempt and suicidal thoughts, depression, things like that. So just know that going in, but it was so good. Okay, then I want to talk about Middle of the Night by Riley Sager. I just read this and it was such a good thriller. I've only read 2 books by Riley Sager, but I've loved both of them. The other one was The Only One Left, and then this one, Middle of the Night. And I do want to go back and read all of his backlist because this one was so good. It's about 2 boys that were camping in one of them's backyard, and then whenever they woke up to somebody like slashing the tent, he looked over and his friend was missing. His friend Billy was missing, and they never found him. And so now it's like 20 years later, 30 years later, and they are he's moved back to his childhood home. His parents left. He's like reconnecting with some of his old neighbors, some people who are still around, and people who have always wondered about what happened. Like, this is a cold case. No one solved the mystery. What happened to Billy? And of course, he is the one that everyone wants to, you know, talk to because he was there, but he claims he doesn't remember anything from that night. But there is like so much more from that whole day that led up to the night where he got taken or whatever, and it was just told really good, interesting all the way through. Really enjoyed it. You should check it out. Then I'll talk about Graveyard Shift by M.L. Rio. This is a novella. This is the second book that this author has ever made after If We Were Villains, which was such a good book, so I was really hyped for it, except it kind of just fell so flat. Like, it was really boring. It's only 130 pages and I just couldn't connect with the story, the characters. Didn't enjoy it, so I pushed my way through it and finished it, but I really couldn't care less if I had read it or not. Next is The Housemaid. I read that by Frida McFadden, my first book by Frida McFadden, and I really enjoyed it. It is about a girl who has been to jail, so she's not really being able to get a job and she needs one, so she ends up being hired on as a housemaid. And the only thing is the wife in the household is like crazy and being so rude to her and just ugly to her and just literally psychotic, and she doesn't understand why. So you're in this house with psychotic people, or mainly the wife, but you're like, what's really going on here? What did the main character do to go to jail? Like, you just don't know a lot, and so you're learning all of that as you go. And I gave it 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. I mean, I think it's not my favorite mystery thriller ever. Just for my own taste, I read better, but I loved it and I will be reading more Frida McFadden. Okay, so then I read Dating and Dragons by, what is her name? I'm forgetting, but she wrote Dungeons and Drama, and I love this little series she got going on. But this is a YA romance, but the thing is, these are just little nerds falling in love, and I love it. Dating and Dragons was a arc that I received. Doesn't come out till January 2025. I'm so sorry, but it is so good. You'll have to read it when it comes out. Basically, the main characters fall in love or connect because she's a new girl at the school. She joins their Dungeons and Dragons game, their D&D nights, and they play D&D on like live, like they record themselves live and play in front of an audience, and it's just so good. It's so cute, it's so nerdy, it's so fun. Like, I just love everything about it. Okay, then I read Not Another Love Song. This one was a romance that's for adults. Spicy, very good, very just everything I could have asked for from a romance. I really loved it. The cover kind of turned me off and I didn't like it, but the books itself, the content, so good. 5-star romance. If you like my taste or have similar taste, you should read it because Not Another Love Song was so good. I have to shout it out. The last one that I've read is Unbearably Yours. This is a Kindle Unlimited book that I randomly found one day, and I really enjoyed it. It was about 2 characters who used to be like pen pals, and so they reconnect years later on accident and have to work together on this kind of like TV episode show where the main character girl is being filmed, and the guy is like their host and tour guide of showing them the nature that they're filming because they work in like the wildlife TV industry, like making TV shows about animals and wildlife, which was just really cool and atmospheric. Like it was like a perfect fall book because they're in like with like the leaves, it's fall time, they make a campfire, or they make a fire and have marshmallows and hot chocolate, and it's just all the vibes like that I could ask for. So that one was really good. Okay, lastly, we'll get into the books that I want to read before I give birth and don't have any time to read. So one of them is Blue Sisters by Coco Mellors. I don't know why, but this book is so intriguing to me and I really want to read it. Next, I have a couple of them here to show you, but the last one I don't have a copy of is Boys with Sharp Teeth. I got the arc of it and it's coming out I think in December, but I will be reading that one. I received some other arcs that I really want to get to as well. This one, Night and Day by John Connolly, it is like spooky novellas, a whole book of spooky novellas, and this cover is so cute, so I really want to read that. I also got this one, Any Trope But You. I will definitely be reading this around Christmas time because it's just giving the snow Christmas vibes. This one is called Witness 8 by Steve Kavanaugh. It's a thriller that sounded really interesting to me. Comes out in March of next year, so I'm going to get to this one as well before the end of the year, I hope. And then I have Intermezzo by Sally Rooney. I got this, of course, from my library, so I'll be reading this soon. So Thirsty by Rachel Harrison. This cover is so cool, and I keep seeing a lot about this one, so I have to read it. And then the final one is Incidents Around the House. This is a horror book, and I've heard it's so scary, so I don't know how I'm gonna read it, but I will do my best to actually get through it. Might not, but it's for a book club that I'm in, so I'm gonna try. Okay, that's all the books that I read, am reading, or want to read. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Remember to check out Analisa. The link is in my description if you want to find some really pretty, gorgeous jewelry for affordable prices that lasts literally forever. So thanks for watching. Bye!